Yeah, just in time for breakfast. The croissants are fresh. I had one of the crew pick them up from the bakery this morning.
You are holding me against my will.
Well, I prefer to think of it as a prenuptial cruise.
We are anchored miles offshore. You have denied me access to a launch, any other means of communication. You abducted me from my office by putting a bag over my head. All of that amounts to kidnapping. So, if you let me go, I won't press charges.
What blushing bride would testify against her newly wedded husband? Which makes it one more reason to tie the knot as soon as possible. Try the pain au chocolat. They're particularly buttery, Angel.
What did you just call me?
Angel. It's a play on your middle name, Angelica.
That was Luke's pet name for his precious Laura. Don't call me that.
I apologize. I had no idea. And now that I think of it, Angel doesn't really suit you.
That's the first logical thing you've said.
I'm going to call you Venus, my own personal goddess of love.
Look, this cuddly mobster act is completely wasted on me. I know that you're lethal, and no matter how you try to dress it up as quirky or cute, you're threatening me.
At least have some coffee, Venus. I'd hate for you to be felled by a migraine when we have so much to plan.
The 13th has come and gone. We did not get married. We will not get married.
Have I ever told you about my first wife, Domenica?
God, have I ever expressed an interest in hearing about your first wife, Domenica?
You remind me of her in many ways. She was a formidable woman, smart, excellent head for business. In fact, I doubt I would have achieved all I did without Domenica's advice. But she wasn't content to support me. She wanted to run things. That was unacceptable. Though it broke my heart, I had to divorce her.
Gee, too bad she didn't rub you out before you had a chance to dump her.
You want to wear me down. You think that if you say no enough times in enough ways, I'll give up? But I've thought this out very carefully, Tracy. I know how good we can be together.
You have absolutely nothing that I want.
You want my silence, don't you? You want me to keep quiet about that evidence that could land you in federal prison?
Okay, so you claim that the money I allegedly stole from Gino Solito was yours. How about I pay you back in full with interest? It's going to take me a while to get it together, but that way we don't have to resort to matrimony.
You really need a perspective shift on our impending nuptials because I intend to be the perfect husband, unlike many of those who came before me.
You know, I used to think that 3 or 4 of my husbands were the worst mistakes I ever made in my life. However, I would remarry any one of them now just to get away from you.
Well, I was actually referring to your more recent spouses. Gino, who you married out of desperation, and Luke, who took advantage of your affections to get his hands on your money. All right, all that's behind you. We can focus on getting it right this time.
I don't want to marry you. I can't stand you.
Exactly. We're starting this marriage free of illusions with our mutual hatred right there on the table. We got nowhere to go but up. Coffee. Not that I have anything good to say about my time in prison, but I have to admit, it deepened my appreciation for the little things. Take breakfast, for example. At Pentonville, they fed us powdered eggs and oatmeal that tasted like concrete. Makes a spread like this even more enjoyable. Try the orange juice. It's fresh squeezed.
I'm going to have to stretch my legs at some point.
No. Feel free to walk on the deck for as long as you like.
No, actually, I thought maybe you could dock somewhere.
So you could make a run for it? Ooh, I thought you'd be a little more devious than that.
You can turn me into the SEC anytime you like. The only way I can outrun them is if I pull up stakes and move to Tibet.
I wouldn't put that past you.
Am I going to live at sea for the rest of my life?
Only until we're safely married.
Okay. Let's get it over with then. Do we go to a justice of the peace? Do we hire a minister? Do we fly to the Dominican Republic?
I'm surprised you didn't suggest Las Vegas.
I don't ever want to set foot in Las Vegas ever again.
That's where you married Spencer, isn't it?
No, it isn't where I married Spencer. It's where Spencer convinced me, conned me into thinking that I was married.
A rat. How could he take advantage of you like that? And I can't imagine why you went ahead and married him, for real.
That's none of your business.
He's not good enough for you, Tracy.
Mr. Zakara, you can blackmail me into marrying you. You can hold me prisoner on this barge. But you cannot make me sit here and listen to you malign Luke Spencer. With all of his flaws, he's an extraordinary man.
How do I sense you're carrying a torch for your ex? Should I be jealous?
Actually, I wouldn't take him back if he crawled on glass.
Well, that's not an option in any case. We are going to spend the rest of our lives together.
Without the possibility of parole?
You may learn to like me, Tracy. In fact, I'm counting on it.
I don't seem to have a choice.
Since we've missed our original date for the wedding, I'm making arrangements for a new ceremony.
Can we keep the false sentiment to a minimum? How about we just go to City Hall?
What? In that dreary place? Forget it. We're getting married right here on this boat.